Today, we are completely upgrading the way you study. Whether you are diving into programming, marketing, or learning a new language, and I'm going to show you how to use AI to learn smarter, not either. In this video, I'm breaking down three incredible, powerful AI learning strategies. We will cover the Feynman AI Prompt, the practice loop method, and how to build an AI quiz and space repetition system. On top of that, I will show you exactly how to transform ChatGPT into your ultimate personal tutor. And by the end of this video, your study session will be faster, more efficient, and way more effective at locking in that knowledge for the long time. So, if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, hit the subscribe button and let's dive right in. Don't forget to share the video after you watch, please like and make comment. Thank you. Welcome everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're here for this explainer. Look, today we are tackling something that is quietly frustrating millions of focused learners worldwide. You know the drill. Most people spend months, sometimes literally years, trying to learn a new skill, whether that's coding, advanced economics, or a new language. And naturally, we've all turned to AI to speed the whole shebang up, right? But here is the crazy paradox. Despite having a supercomputer right in our pockets, a lot of us are still struggling. We aren't really learning faster. But if you use a smarter AI system, you absolutely can understand concepts in a fraction of the time. So we're going to unpack exactly why students struggle with AI and explore a proven, actionable blueprint to fix it. So why do we learn so slowly when we have access to infinite knowledge? Think about it for a second. You sit down, you open up your AI tool, type in a prompt, and boom, you get hit with this massive, overwhelming wall of text. You read it, it sounds super smart, and nodding along, feeling like you grasp it, but then you close the tab, and 5 minutes later, you realize you can't actually explain a single thing you just read. You're overwhelmed by information, you're passively consuming it, and honestly, you're left feeling completely stuck. It is incredibly frustrating to have the answers right in front of you that still feel like you're going absolutely nowhere. But listen, it really doesn't have to be this way. Let's take a breath and look at the contrast here. On the left, that is the painful reality for most folks. Endless months of frustration, passive reading, and just the illusion of competence. But on the right, that's the promise of the exact three-step blueprint we are covering today. We are going to completely overhaul how you interact with AI, moving you away from those overwhelming text dumps and turning your AI into an active engine for deep comprehension. Okay, let's dive into this blueprint that maps our journey from struggling student to empowered learner. First, we'll cover why students struggle. Then, the mindset shift from Google to Tutor. After that, we hit the three core strategies: the Feynman prompt, the practice loop, and a reduce system. Section 1: Why students struggle. Honestly, the core issue: passive consumption. Endless passive reading is the absolute enemy of retention, and it leads directly to the biggest hurdle students face. Which brings us to Section 2: Mindset. The fundamental shift from Google to Tutor. This shift absolutely must happen before you apply any tactical prompts. Because look, treating AI as a basic search engine is the core reason you're struggling. It's the biggest mistake people make. You treat it like Google. You ask a one-off question, you get a one-off perfect summary, and you just walk away. Because the AI did all the heavy cognitive lifting, your brain doesn't actually store anything. You're mistaking recognizing the words for true understanding. That transactional relationship is the root of the problem. Instead, you need to use AI like a personal interactive tutor. A tutor doesn't just hand you an encyclopedia. A tutor talks to you, challenges you, and adapts to your level. Treating AI this way unlocks absolutely everything. All right, section 3, strategy 1, the Feynman prompt. This is the first cognitive stage of learning, comprehension. We are replacing dense articles with a targeted dialogue. And here is the exact prompt you're going to use. You literally say to the AI, explain this topic like I'm 12 years old. Use simple analogies and make it fun. By adding that like I'm 12 constraint, you brilliantly force the AI to strip away all the academic jargon and complex vocabulary that usually clouds things up. It forces the system to rely on basic foundational concepts and relatable comparisons. And that is exactly how human brains naturally encode new information, bypassing that passive struggle entirely. But you don't just stop after the first prompt. That's only step one. Step two is to become like a curious toddler. If something still doesn't make total sense, just ask the AI. Why? Keep pulling on that thread. Keep the AI talking. And then step three, this is the real magic, you teach it yourself. You type back to the AI, okay, let me see if I understand this. And you explain it back in your own words. Because here's the golden rule of education. When you can teach it, you have actually learned it. Moving on to section 4, strategy 2, the practice loop. A concept in theory just isn't enough. You have to use it immediately. And that brings us to the application phase, specifically active practice. Active practice means taking knowledge out of the abstract and applying it to solve actual problems, rather than just passively reading more about it. And this brilliantly illustrates why action helps your brain remember far more than passive reading. Action creates friction in your brain, and that friction builds the neural pathways necessary for memory. Without active practice, your new knowledge is just temporary data. So, how do we trigger this? You step into the arena as an English student and demand a practical challenge by typing this prompt. Give me 5 real world problems I can solve using this concept. Notice the framing here. You aren't asking for more real material. You are challenging your AI tutor to test you. Once the AI gives you those problems, you follow these 3 steps. First, actually try to solve them without looking up the answers. Second, and this is incredibly important, allow yourself to make mistakes. Making mistakes isn't failing, it is the exact mechanism of learning. And third, take your messy, incorrect answers, hand them back to the AI, and ask, show me exactly where I went wrong and how to improve. That exact personalized correction loop, that is where true accelerated growth happens. Finally, section 5, strategy 3, the review system. We enter the final retention phase to guarantee this hard-earned knowledge actually sticks long term. Right before you wrap up your study session, you have to deploy this prompt as your ultimate safety net. Create a 10-question quiz about everything I learned today. Start easy and gradually make it harder. Taking this quiz immediately forces your brain to recall the information one last time before you rest, cementing those neural connections so the info doesn't just evaporate over the weekend. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it visually cements the secret to hacking your memory: spaced repetition. You took the quiz on day 1, awesome. But on day 2, you asked the AI to test you again. Then you wait a bit longer. Day 4, another quick review. Then you push it out to day 7 for a final review. Then repeatedly interrupting your brain's natural forgetting curve at these specific intervals, you signal to your brain that this information is vital for survival. It literally cements long-term memory. So we've covered the mindset shift, the Feynman prompt, the practice loop, and the spaced review system. Now the ball is completely in your court. What skill are you trying to learn next? Are you tackling coding, a new language, or maybe advanced data analysis? Leave your answer in the comments below, and more importantly, apply this exact 3-step AI method to your own goals starting today. Stop struggling with passive reading, start treating AI like your personal tutor, and see how fast you can truly master something new. Thanks so much for joining me on this disclaimer, and happy learning.